Hello everybody and welcome to the 2020 Bemhamo battle presented by yours truly, Caddie Disc Golf. Today we're playing at the Phantom Lake Disc Golf course, currently a 9-hole course that will eventually be an 18, designed by my friend Mike Harrington. Let's take a look at our players and what kind of action we're going to see. First up we have Ken Benhamo, PDGA number 60881. He's currently rated 955, throws with his right hand, and if you'd like to connect with him on Instagram, you can follow him at kenb_disc. Next up, we have Jerret Bemis, 97906 as a PDGA number. He's currently rated 961, had a great year last year, throwing with his right hand, and you can connect with him on Instagram at jerret.bemis. Jerret, welcome to the first battle.
Thank you.
Versing Ken, someone that you were neck and neck with a lot last year, both in leagues and at some tournaments. What's the strategy out here today?
Try not to fall behind early. There's a lot of forehand friendly holes later on, and try and take advantage there, and hopefully I don't suck at putting.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Ken, Jerret kind of snuck out of nowhere in the PDGA scene, rated as low as I was, and now he is rated a few points above you. Clearly talented. You're versing him today. What's the strategy?
Probably make my putts, definitely. Hopefully get some circle 2 putts going. Otherwise, I know he's got me on the forehand, so just got to take advantage of keeping up with him on those holes. And maybe we can go 9 under, both of us, so we'll see. It's going to be fun.
Good luck.
Let's go.
And we're off. Hole 1 is a par 3. Actually, all these holes are par 3s. The distance is 251 feet. 77 meters. There's a straight gap or a hyzer gap. The hyzer gap is easier to hit, but the straight gap just feels better. You can throw a mid-range, fairway driver. Either will work. All right, flipping for first. Jerret's going to flip. Ken's going to call. Whoever gets the call correct decides whether they tee off first or second. Go ahead.
So, heads. You tee off first.
All right, Ken's teeing off first.
GG, Jerret. You too, Ken. I love you. Love you too.
Little words of encouragement there. Ken is going up the gut with a Crystal Meteor, hits in tree, kicks right back to the fairway. Jerret tried to hit the hyzer line with his Neo Instinct, was hit down by a tree, but he has a pretty good approach game, and it looks to be the case here. Ken jump putting from about 100 feet, giving it a little bit of a run. A great par save putt from Jerret to start early on in the round. Ken hits the front of the cage. It sounded like he got razzed by a bird. Anyhow, starting off with a bogey. Hole 2, 250 feet, 76 meters. Really, you want to throw a disc that will fly straight with a soft hyzer finish. Some people will take a mid or a fairway driver here. Really, you just want to hit the line and you should be in good shape. Jerret on the box, throwing an S-line FD. Looks like he pulled it just a bit. Misses everything. Finally gets knocked down, finishes kind of near hole 3's tee pad. Ken is throwing his Champ Eagle right up the gut. This is kind of how you want to do it. Caught a tree, which is good because it probably would have been long into the woods. Soft little forehand upshot into the circle. Looks like he's out by just a couple feet. Saves the par, no problem. Ken's looking to get an early stroke here. And bam, first one to take the birdie, knocking him right back. 2 even. Tied up on hole 3. 154 feet, 47 meters. This hole is a shorty. You have to hit a clean line, but for the most part, you're probably running an ace. Putter typically suffices here. We'll see what our players throw. Ken is lining up his XT Glow Nova, a disc he has bagged for many years and that's why. Opting for the forehand, Jerret throws his moonshine harp. Fades a little to the right on him, but he's still inside of the circle. Ooh, almost spit through, but it stuck for the birdie. Ken answers, and we've got our first star frame. Hole 4, 365 feet, 111 meters. This is the farthest hole on the course. You have 3 lines that you can do. There's the hyzer line, which is where our course preview cam is taking us. You can go up the gut through the pine trees or the forehand to the left, but those lines are much tighter. Typically, you're going to throw something distance driver-ish here. Throw it low because there are some low-hanging branches, and try to get ground action near the basket. Ken is throwing a star Ricky Destroyer. Throws it perfectly despite the kid yelling while he was throwing. And he's at about circle 2 there. Jerret is throwing a star Mystere. Looks to be a tad high and hits a tree and kicks just behind those pine trees I mentioned earlier. Should be able to get up and down from there. Especially with the approach game he has shown us he has today. Right inside the circle. Ken from circle 2 looking to hit a big 2. Misses just left. Tried to squat it in. But if you take a 3 on this hole, it doesn't feel too bad. On the pole for his par save. Ken looking to answer with a par. And we continue to stay tied going into hole 5. Hole 5 is 233 feet, 71 meters. Once again, pretty tight line. The play here is typically a forehand, either an overstable putter or a mid-range. You can take a backhand, but you're going to need something that fades to the right a little bit slower. Ken is lining up his flex buzz on the turnover shot. Looks like he pulled it a bit. And magically he fights all the way through until he hits the last tree that kicks him near the basket into the circle. Jerret going back to that moonshine harp. Ken in the background calling for an ace. That was a great shot. Nice tap and birdie. Ken makes sure he doesn't walk away with the stroke there. Waving to his fans. All 0 of them. And we're moving on. Hole 6. 307 feet, 94 meters. This hole plays really well for the forehand. Something on a hyzer that flips up flat and pushes until it lightly finishes. You can throw a backhand on this hole as well, but you have a lot more branches in contention. We'll see what our players decide to do. Ken has opted for the backhand with his champion turn. This is a very old flippy turn. Looks really good out of his hands. Catches a branch just before the basket, and he should be in circle 2. Jerret showing off his forehand with his strike. And he crushes it about 30 past the basket for his comeback for the 2. Little step putt from Ken. He didn't like it out of his hand. Turned around instantly. Jerret fluffed it right. He knew that too. Hitting the comebacker from about the same distance. No score changes here. Hole 7, 240 feet, 73 meters. About 50 feet off the tee pad, you have a tree with some low-hanging branches that you have to get under. And then you want to finish to the right. There is an out-of-bounds creek about 25-30 feet from the basket. The forehand is the common play, but it looks like Ken here is lining up the backhand turnover with his flex buzz. The height is perfect, turning nicely, and he'll have a birdie putt for about 20 feet. Jerret taking his star and he'll be putting from about circle's edge in the woods. Missed right, and Ken has an opportunity to take a stroke and go one up. Executes it perfectly, and we now have a 1-stroke lead going into hole 8. Hole 8, 304 feet, 93 meters. This hole plays really well for the forehand as well, as there's not a lot of trees to the left. You can throw a lower backhand shot as well, just you have more branches you have to deal with. See what our players opt for.
Should we do the Drew Gibson?
Showing us his buzz. Goes for the backhand and catches an early branch. Jerret is staking that Firebird once again, and that's what you do. You skip it right under the basket. Ken's going to be running this softly. It's a great bid. Great bid. He's tapping in his par. Jerret is tapping in his birdie. And we're taking a quick look at the leaderboard. All tied up going into the final hole. -3 from both of our competitors. And hole 9 is a birdieable hole, so we'll see what our players do. Hole 9, 203 feet, 62 meters. It plays ever so slightly uphill, mainly because the tee pad is slightly below the rest of the fairway. Really, the gap is just to throw something straight, a putter or mid-range, keeping it low enough. There's not a lot of grass here, so you can get some good skip action. Jerret's throwing a Star Mako 3. Glidey, stable mid-range, and that is exactly what you want. Ken's throwing his McPro Rock 3 here, nice and low. Maybe going for the ace. Ooh, misses just right, and there you see that ground action. Pushing him to about circle's edge to force a playoff. And he does it. Right side catch for the birdie. Putting pressure on Jerret for this 15-footer. And we're moving into a playoff hole, 4 down. Coming back to hole 1, 251 feet, 77 meters. First time around, we saw Ken try the middle gap and got hit relatively early. Jerret trying the hyzer and getting knocked down much earlier. Ken took a bogey on this hole, so hopefully he can clean that up and we can force more playoffs.
All right, playoff rules. Normal golf, starting back at hole 1. First one to get the winning stroke is the winner. Good luck, boys.
GG.
Jerret, Ken, you're going to flip this time. Jerret calls, heads or tails. Whoever wins decides who tees off first.
Tails. Ken goes first.
All right, Ken's teeing off first. Good luck, gentlemen.
Back on hole 1, Ken is deciding to line up the hyzer route with a T-bird 3 this time, making the adjustment. Laces the gap, but that looks like it might have a little too much steam on it. And Jerret has switched as well. He's going Mako 3 up the gut. Pures it perfectly. He's got to be feeling great after that pull. Ken from about circle's edge in the woods, hoping for a miracle to push another playoff. Comes up just a little short. Oh, he took a second putt. Oh, he made it that time, but that would be a stroke. Jerret tapping in his 2, and you've got yourself the winner. All right, congratulations, Jerret, on your first ever Bemhamo battle win, shooting a 5 down over Ken's 4 down. There was no money donated, so we don't have any payouts, but we've got some bragging rights. Let's take a listen at the post-round interviews.
Ken, another close battle with someone that you're close with on the course all the time. What's going through your head right now?
Drive got a little bit away from me, but honestly, that was a really fun round. I did not think I was going to hit that last putt to tie it, so that made me just ecstatic about the whole round right there.
So if I decide to do another battle between you two, what are you going to try to focus on next?
Beating him.
Fair enough. See you next time.
Later.
Jerret, victory is yours. The round, both your scores were real close for most of it. What was going through your head?
I was nervous at first because the drives weren't going well off the tee, but I was putting strangely better than normal, and then halfway through it flipped around, but thank God I pulled it off in the end.
What does this win mean for you?
Absolutely nothing. No, just bragging rights for Ken. I can talk crap until we play next time and he beats me.
Congrats.
Thank you.